Hello everyone, I'm Ancient Marauder, and this is Pepsilorian, yeah?
Hello.
And this is the first episode of what we're going to be doing for like the next week. Every week or every 2 weeks, we're going to be doing this new podcast. Yeah,
This is kind of going to be a mixed bag of different topics today, kind of covering everything so far that we're going to cover in the whole podcast. Each episode going further is going to be covering like a very specific topic, so we hope you enjoy.
yeah. So, without further ado, we've got some topics to bring up today. We got some topics to bring up today, including current Brand Warriors situations, including what we're planning for the future, including different Brand Wars subjects like I don't know, like answers, questions and answers that you guys ask us.
hmm
Yeah,
we'll kind of be going over for anyone new to the Brand Warrior scene. We'll be kind of going over a generalization of what Brand Wars is, like Ancient Marauder was saying, past Brand Wars projects, current Brand Wars projects, future Brand Wars projects, upcoming events, discussing the Discord, and then we'll be getting a little bit more specific going into different crafting tips and discussing that a little bit and taking any questions and following up on each of our topics.
yeah, absolutely, Pepsilorian. And among those many things, oh, we already got listeners. Among those many
Oh,
things,
good deal.
oh, it shows up on the PNG. I should probably move that then. Um, among those many things, we've got my brain is starting to fry.
You're good. It's our first time, so we should experience, like various braid frog,
Brain
brain
frog.
fog. Because we're this first time, so we're gonna have a few kinks in the system. But once we get going, it'll kind of start flowing. So let's start off with how we'd originally planned with introductions. So without further ado, please introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm Ancient Marauder. You guys probably already knew me as Moretti Marauder, but I changed that because I wanted to be kind of brandless. I wanted to be kind of like my own thing and accept any different brand that wanted me to make armor for their brand. I also, like, for example, I've been doing the Cherry Lorian recently. I've been doing the ancient Pitium Primarch. I've I've got a few others planned, but I don't have the materials for them. You guys most notably know me on TikTok, but I used to go also by Fey Helmet here on YouTube and Twitch, where I had a very interesting following before it fell off. Oh, and I out of a fit of rage removed every single follower I had, so there's that.
It happens.
Yeah. But but yeah, my journey across the internet has certainly been a strange one, and the brand wars is what's been keeping me motivated do what I do to do what I do for the most part.
Well, good deal. It's been a great community and it's held a lot of people together.
Yeah, agreed. For when it's at its strongest,
That's
I will say.
that's for sure. But even the core of it has held quite a few together, and it's also been a great just general crafting community.
Absolutely. Like we have so
hmm
many different, like, not necessarily like talented, because I don't like the word talented, like very skilled crafters and
hmm
designers. Like Flaming
Oh yeah.
Moron, for example. I'm still very impressed at what he does, because like his Peacekeeper minigun, right?
Oh
He
yeah.
Yeah, that thing actually fires, and
hmm
he designed elements of it in CAD and 3D printed them before he actually coated them before he actually coated them with like cans and cardboard.
Hmm.
He showed me some of the screenshots of the CAD program he was using to make
Yeah,
the
I think I remember you talking about the.
yeah. I'm trying CAD, but it's incredibly difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole different beast. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm just happy with Blockbench as it is,
Hmm. But
which which by the way is going to be part of another project Areno that we're working on for different Brand Wars related subjects. But that's for the future.
mhm.
Yeah. What about you, Pepsilorian? Introduce yourself.
uh, let's see. Well, people first started knowing me by my original moniker, Paragon of Pepsi. I kind of had like a Pepsi Night thing going on for a little while, and then I switched over to my current thing, Pepsilorian, and that's what most know me by now. Although on Instagram, I still go by Paragon of Pepsi, and I kind of went nuts with it a little bit, and have made several different Pepsi costumes, ranging from the Pepsilorian to Pepsi Spartan to a Pepsi Iron Man. And I've branched off into some Mountain Dew versions and pretty much staying within the realm of PepsiCo. My current one I'm working on is a Pepsi Doom Slayer and a Doctor Doom, emphasis on the Doom
Yeah, I
part.
remember that.
Yep.
Doom.
But my
Doom.
original stint into cosplay, I originally started cosplaying several years before that, but it was Brand Wars that actually got me on to doing videos and stuff because I used to cosplay just like general fantasy and video game characters, uh, like on the convention scene and whatnot.
Hmm.
And then after seeing Ghost of Tsushima, the Miller Lite Samurai, after seeing him in Twisted Tea King, and then that kind of led me into the world of Brand Wars. That's what got me into, actually, kind of got me back into cosplay,
Yeah.
and that and the lockdown. Um,
Hmm.
it pushed me into making my first Pepsi kit, and now here we are.
Absolutely. Yeah, what's funny about Ghost of Tsushima is that he actually made his armor for an art project way before finding out about the brand wars on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah, he was building it. Then after he found out about that, posted parts of it, and then yeah, it blew up.
Yeah. Brand wars back then, if you had armor, like if you had a helmet, you blew up.
Yeah,
Yeah. Too bad we're like as part of me misses the old brand wars, but part of me doesn't, you know?
yeah. One thing though that I will say that the TikTok or online brand wars, I think doesn't. There's a few of y'all that um, some of you realize it, but some don't. Is in like lemons and lasers, for example, the and flaming hot Hashira.
Yeah, yeah.
The they're big in the convention scene, and the brand wars have always been they've been a staple at most conventions because there's always that one person who comes to a convention dressed up in some sort of can armor or uh, packaged armor or something like that, whether they're a ramen warrior or
Yeah.
you know, beer box gladiator or something like that, and they're always like just like a mascot. And it's either
Absolutely.
as a joke, or they just keep on doing it. And they may never post online, but they're kind of like the unsung heroes of brand wars.
Yeah, and like lemons and lasers, I reached out to him on Instagram, and turns out like people have been doing this kind of stuff since 2003 and
Oh yeah,
probably before that. So,
oh yeah, most definitely.
most definitely.
It's been around for a while, or hell, even longer.
Yeah. I mean, Lemons and Lasers was just like one of the first to make like a social media account about it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I reached
Which kind
I
of brings. Sorry. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
reached out to a few other brand warriors who posted on Instagram, and we got one of them on in our ranks now. One of them is Monster Knight,
Mhm.
Monster Knight, and then we've got
And then Packard Paladin.
yeah, Packard Paladin reached out to me first, like for some reason, he instead of me reaching out to them, like what would usually happen, like me just recruiting brand warriors obsessively.
Mhm.
What happened was they actually found out about me and started reaching
Mhm.
out to me. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
like
I'd found out
their
about him through.
yeah.
I'd found out about him through Flaming Hot Hashra and Lemons and Lasers because they had posted mutual photos from the San Diego Comic Con
Yeah,
because they all three freaked out quite a bit.
yeah, and that old brand warrior, I'm not gonna mention who they are because they deleted all their accounts and would like to remain
Yeah,
anonymous. But they also
yeah, I
got
know.
to
You talking about.
know Lemons and Lasers and Flaming Hot Hashira, which I think is super cool.
Yeah,
They like to have that many brand warriors in the same convention, but like,
yeah, it's a good community out there.
mm-hmm. Which speaking of, I'm going to be meeting Monster Knight really soon. He actually lives not that far away from where I live, like in Venice.
Oh, nice.
I'm in
Oh,
Vicenza. He's in like Venice, which is like a 2 hour train ride away.
nice.
Yeah. So he's going to come meet me at my local convention, and we're gonna do some silly shit together.
That'll be good. That'll be real good.
Yeah.
Which that brings, I guess, carrying forward, we've been talking a lot about brand wars in general, and which I mean, it's simple in one term, but it means a lot to a lot of different people.
Yeah.
So to you, what is brand wars?
Well, to me, Brand Wars is just a community of people who dress up and just a community of people who dress up and like have fun together. You know, like that could be lots of communities, but this Brand Wars to me is my special place where I get to just do like whatever I want with cardboard, and I have this I have I have all these people who not only do even cooler stuff with cardboard and with other materials, but like not only that, but like they recognize me, and we follow each other and we support each other. Like
Mhm.
Brand Wars at its finest is when we're all collaborating together to make something really funny or something really stupid or something really cool.
Yeah,
Like remember the
exactly.
chains we would do back then?
Yep.
Yeah, like doing Brand Wars chains is has always been a it's it's been something I've always like something I've been doing for almost 2 years now, and something I love, like just like when I think of Brand Wars nostalgia, I just go back to
Mhm.
those memories of the chains of like
Yeah,
yeah, the chains are like one, which is why it's so hard to which is why it's so hard to bring the which is why it's so hard to bring the TikTok experience of Brand Wars to other social media platforms, because you can't really duet people on Instagram or YouTube Shorts. You need TikTok for that level of dumb fuckery.
that's true. Yeah, they have like the remix option on Instagram, but I mean, it's not the same. But like,
Yeah,
at
that
least you can, you can edit outside of it. But I don't know if everyone's willing to do that. But it doesn't have the same, like you said, the same pizzazz or whatever you want to call it.
yeah, it doesn't have the same pizzazz. But that doesn't mean it isn't bad, or that it isn't like in like that. Wait, that doesn't mean that it's bad, or that it's like it's like inaccessible. But like it just means that it's different and it doesn't really fit with what
Yeah,
we do. Yeah,
yeah, it works either way. I mean, brand wars is brand wars, and
yeah. People
it's the
have
community as a whole.
yeah, I agree. What about you, Pepsilorian? What do you think is Brand Wars for you? Like, what is?
Well, it's my view of it's evolved over the years. 'Cause I think I'm about 2.5 years into it. But at first, it was just like, oh, build a costume out of your favorite brand and post funny stuff. And uh, then seeing more of the community, and it's like, oh wow, that's actually a cool cosplay community. That begins to support each other. Minus the toxic stint that was there for a while, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, we
Um,
won't get into that live on stream. If anyone really wants the
yeah,
details of that,
yeah,
just
yeah. Move
join the
on.
Discord and I'll
Uh,
relay you after this. But like,
yeah,
yeah,
but the community itself, like how you were saying, that's been the best part of it because I mean, it's or one of the best parts to me was you could create something, post it, have interactions with either an audience or with a fellow brand warrior, and then
exactly.
get feedback on it, work on it, get tips, tricks, whatever, and then come back and then post it again, and then keep building, and then keep getting escalate, bigger, better, so on. But the other part to me was I like to write and I like to do like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that and do storylines. So to me, I saw an opportunity for like uh, like fanfic type stuff.
Yeah,
And like I seen people were doing like in the beginning they were doing like the alcohol versus the soda wars, or the food versus soda wars, and then the little guilds and then team ups and stuff like that. So like on my end, I started doing like the OC stuff and introducing like character backgrounds, and I seen some other people doing that as well. And then over time, different people started doing character bios, and then
yeah,
we have like a verse come into it, and then it's stories. I like stories. That was the other part that really drove me really far into it.
yeah. I want as much as I'm not big on the story element of it, I'm I'm still pretty on board with all the fun stuff that it leads to.
Yeah, I love lore. Like even if
Yeah.
it's goofy, and funny and all that, but at the same time you can, because it's a chance for someone to build their own, but funny hero in a way, and
Yeah.
make their own comic book or their own, fantasy character, and uh, have a chance to literally put it on screen.
Absolutely. And then 10 months ago that resulted in a massive project. Well, not super massive because some of the people who you had planned kind of dipped, but
Yeah,
yeah, like that project was amazing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, just from compared to what we had done, like, because like talking about different brand wars, like projects, we started off well previous to my era, because I was early 2022, and it really kicked off in late 21, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, previous ones was like how you were saying, if you just had a box, a helmet, or a little bit of armor, you kind of blew up. And a lot of the biggest projects from that era was like the chains, and then like the
Well,
alcohol and
there was a bit more to it than that because there was a bit more to it than that because there were people who were doing like art, for example. Like the old brand warriors were so big on art. Um,
mm,
the old brand warriors were so big on art, and like they were working on some kind of like lore between each other,
mm.
but
Oh yeah, true, true.
it didn't go that well. But
Yeah,
it
yeah,
didn't
they
bring
had the
sorry, it didn't
yeah, they had the
yeah.
sorry. Well,
It's
they had
fine.
the alcohol versus the soda war. They were doing the different wars and the guilds and stuff, and then the big chain collaborations, and
But
crap, what was that other?
the guilds, and then there was also going to be like some kind of animated series that they were commissioning from
Yeah,
someone,
yeah, yeah, and the
and the
comic
comic
books.
book by Twisted Tea King.
Yeah. That was the previous like projects that were going on at that time.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
then some of them came through, some of them didn't. I mean, they were all great stuff and really good ideas.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
the levels of collaborations that were done on them, they were very spontaneous. That would probably be the best word for it, because some of them were, you would post something and hoped that someone else would pick it up, in which it did. And then after that, it kind of faded down there for a while. And then when we got into more organized collaborations, the biggest one that came out of that at the time was the Brand Wars movie in game, which where it
Yeah.
was an organized collaboration, but we had like probably 15 people, on and off working at it, just filming little snippets, or doing odd stuff, here and there.
Yeah. I remember the more detailed parts being made by you, Rider Pilot,
Hmm.
O Stewart DSD, whatever his. I keep forgetting which particular name he goes by because he goes by so many. But
Hmm.
Rider Pilot, you and Pepsi Max Raider, aka 1750 Tech or
Yeah. and
5017 Tech. I don't remember.
and Twisted Tea King, um, then Fanta Flare or Fanta Slayer,
Fanta Flare, yeah, Fanta Flare.
Fanta Flare, and then Bush Brawler,
Bush Brawler, yeah.
and, and there were several others of note. Or it was either those were the major ones, and then several others gave like permission, or they would post like a little snippet of something.
Yeah. I
But all
liked
in
Bush.
all,
Yeah. Yeah. You were saying?
so go ahead.
Oh. Like I liked Bush Brawler's bit against Lord Max.
Yeah, he got in. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. And then I liked the snippets that you put me in. The snippets that you put in of me. Yeah, me in the forest. Which fun fact for that particular sequence, that particular video, I was actually barefoot in that forest in that recording. Yeah, it's just a funny little tidbit I throw out around there cuz like yeah, I know how to hike barefoot.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
trust me, making videos when you don't feel like putting on full armor, it's like all right, well, so I'd probably say at least 10% of videos where you're not seeing anything from like the knees down. I'm not wearing boots or like putting on my shin guards, or I might just be wearing shorts.
That is totally fair. But like but what like my old armor was easy to put on. It was like I could just I could just snap the buckle behind my back and then put on the shoulder and neck armor over my head and then put on the helmet by myself with both of my hands. It was incredibly easy. Now my new Pitium armor requires a second person for me to put it on. Like almost everything is so bulky and big, it needs a second person to put it on.
Yeah, I know that feeling. That's how my Iron Man costume is, and parts of my Pepsi Spartan are. That's why I don't suit up in them so much, because it requires. Sometimes my Iron Man requires three people because I have to have one push against me on one side and hold me in place.
Yeah, that is such a mood.
Yeah, or while you'll see like a close-up video where I'm like, you might just see like my chest plate and like my arm. Like I can get on the chest plate by myself and then like one arm, and I can do like, like, all right, I'm gonna do a blast. And
Yeah, it's a good thing you have cousins and friends who could help you with that. Because I remember you telling me that for Endgame you had like a cousin over to help you with that.
Yeah, I have two cousins that also cosplay. One of them is he does a WD-40 Lorian,
Yeah, I remember.
and so whenever I try to do like big film shenanigans, I will bribe them with or food or cards or just something nerdy, and be like, "Hey, y'all come help me out for a couple hours, and I'll feed you." And
Nice.
they'll give them the script and be like, "All right, we needed to film like this or that."
Yeah.
Which they get a good kick out of it because there was actually I don't think I ever posted it, but I did have a blooper reel for Endgame.
Yeah. A blooper reel for Endgame. Oh, you should. We should totally post that. Actually, like on the
I
channel.
think I still got the. I think I have the stuff still saved on my phone because my cousin he's a goofball anyway, but he was one of the ones dressed up as Lord Max a good bit because I tried to put him in the easy costumes. So, but what he would do is like he'd start randomly dancing, or he'd like walk, and then his buddy was there helping, and one of my helmets you could not see out of. So like we're trying to walk one way, he's like walking the complete opposite
Oh no. Oh no.
way.
By the way, guys,
So
um, uh, just a
go ahead.
quick announcement. By the way, guys, we are answering questions in chat. So if anyone's watching or anyone wants questions answered, just ask them in chat or on Discord, um, and we'll certainly answer them live on stream. Just a quick heads up. But yeah, continue, Pepsilorian.
If you, I think it's in Endgame, but if you watch closely in the scene where it's the Jack Daniels DeLorean is walking up the hill, if you look closely, I think one of us have our hand on his back, and we're leading him up the hill
Oh no. Wait, the
because
WD-40 DeLorean? No, not the WD-40 DeLorean.
the Jack Daniels DeLorean, because that I made the mistake of using a wrong chemical on trying to clean the screen on that helmet, and it completely like almost melted it.
Oh,
So you could not see out of it.
oh, damn.
But anyway, uh, what kind of so that was one of our biggest collaborations, and then you've been doing a great job with the Discord. Um,
Yeah, I would consider this Discord server right here that we're in right now to be the best Discord server that I have made. Not like the best Discord server ever or the best Discord server that has ever existed along those lines, but like the one that personally I've done the best to the best of my capacity. Like
mhm.
um like all the different features I've ever wanted to use, I've used them here basically. Yeah. But we just
Yeah,
yeah.
because after what was it? Kind of after the 2022 Brand Wars rush, uh, and then the I guess the bad times, we'll call it that. I know you created this Discord, and I didn't get on this Discord till about a year ago, and that's I'd kind of say during that end of 2022, beginning of 23, Brand Wars was kind of uh, I'd say dipping a little bit, but we had a bunch of new people coming in, like the Guardian of Mountain Dew, the Dr. Pepper Mandalorian.
Yeah,
So
those two were goats, honestly. Like
oh yeah, yeah,
they're
they were doing freaking great,
yeah,
and
they're sorry. They're like their Pepsi, no, not Pepsi, Dr. Pepper Ragnarok whatever. Their
yo yeah,
Ragnarok series was so good. It was an
yeah,
underrated gem, honestly. And they use
yeah,
some techniques we want to use in our next collaboration, which is
yeah.
standardized props.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So like they were coming in, and then I think Lego Lego Mandalorian also came in
No, I think
around that,
he
or was
was a
he in
bit
before that?
he was way before that. Yeah. It was
I think did he start popping off around that time though?
he started popping off around that time because that was around the time he made his new helmet that wasn't out of bionicle parts and was more.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was getting at was is so we kind of had a rotation there, you know, the old guard into the new guard sort of deal. A lot of the older brand warriors were kind of, you know, either phasing out or leaving or just, you know, going
Hmm.
away. And then you had, you know, new rotation of new prominence coming in. And then even some of the new prominence, they came in, stayed for a little while, left, and, you know, so on and so forth. But you had the Discord going this whole time and
Yeah.
was gathering as many brand warriors as possible to keep the community going. And then I got on the Discord um, finally. I think he
Yeah.
asked me like 2 or 3 times, and I was just like, no, no, no. Then finally got on, and
Yeah.
then
Cause
seeing what you were doing, I was like, holy crap!
wait, that was your first reaction?
In my head, yeah, because it was like, well, holy crap, we have a centralized community.
Yeah. Well, like, hmm, how do I explain this? I don't even know what I'm thinking of. Like the Brand Warriors always the Brand Warriors have never really been organized until like 2021. It's always just been like stuff at conventions, like we mentioned previously. But
Mhm.
on lockdown plus TikTok was what caused them to become more organized. Then you had the old server. Then you have this one. Yeah. And you hopped on here because of something else that happened that was very horrible, but we're not gonna mention it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, after getting on and then getting more active, we'll say slightly more active.
Slightly
Uh,
more active, yes. just a
yeah, I'm
just a
pretty.
smidge more active.
Yeah, I do a lot of background stuff for those that are listening. I keep a watch out in the backgrounds, or whenever something big is going on like this, I'm there, or I'm there for meetings, that type of stuff. But other than that, I lurk.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you kind of do your own thing in the Brand Wars, you know. That's
Pretty
totally
much
commendable. That's that's um that's 100%. That's
fighting the perpetual war against Coca-Cola.
indeed. Or
But
against that new Cherilorian. I wonder who he could be.
oh right, right, yeah. The
Hmm.
the Coke forces were down for a while, and now there's like a resurgence.
Yeah.
Freaking Cherilorian, then Coke Mando comes out with new armor, and then Oreo releases an Oreo
Yes.
Coke matchup. And it's like, oh, good lord, here we go again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. You
anyway,
you got beef with Manda Oriolorian now.
yeah, I know. I seen her. She did her taste test of it, so I thought about being like traitor.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's funny.
Yeah.
But the Discord though, since since you've been building it up and gathering like more brand warriors, you've also created a centralized place, you know, for more than just brand warriors, you know, crafters of all kinds, you know, whether you
Yeah.
do
I
cardboard foam, 3D printing, etc., just all kinds.
I did that because I realized that Brand Warriors cover a large, broad spectrum of different things that we do. Like, I did that because Brand Warriors are a bit more than just people who wear garbage.
Yeah, because I mean,
Like,
it used to be you had to. Well, I always felt it was a little, I guess, gatekeepy would be. I don't feel like that's the best word, but it's the word I'm going to use. Like, it's great, you know, putting garbage on your head, and like the recycling aspect and building your costume out of that. But you should be able to build your costume out of whatever and design it however you want to be a
Yeah,
brand warrior.
yeah. Like, like I realized at some point, like, wait, the original. Okay, so fun fact: before I went, like in 2022, like early 2022, this server like that we're on right now had a previous iteration where
Hmm.
it was supposed to be like a brand wars politics server where we would
Huh.
discuss the different intrications and the different aspects of being a brand warrior with different trends. Like that was like when I made the original Brand Hall, it was around the same time that this council versus rogues trend was going around on TikTok, and the brand warriors were participating in it. So that
Right.
was yeah. So that was like that was like what the original Brand Hall was gonna be based around. Then I
Yeah.
decided to delete it, and I remade it in the form of this one around 2 years ago,
Hmm.
and greatest choice of my life, honestly. I love this place.
Yeah, because I mean, you can always discuss different trends in
Yeah,
a
and
I don't know what the term is, but
and
different
one of
forum
the
on the Discord.
yeah. But like, sorry, I need to interrupt you right there. But like, the
Yeah.
main focus of the Brand Hall though is these things called alignments, where you can have like, for example, the Brand Warrior alignment, the Brand Warrior alignment, the cardboard or boxsmith alignment, the tactical alignment, or the Mandalorian alignment. Originally, the alignments were way different. Like I deleted two of them and made two new ones over the course of 2 years. And excuse me, excuse me. And these alignments, you can have more than one alignment, but they basically they basically give you access to the alignment chats that are specific to that alignment. And what
Right.
the alignments represent is like what you actually do and what you how you actually do it. So like Brand Warrior, right? Like the Brand Warrior alignment, right? Like it's just the simple broad umbrella for all Brand Warriors. But then you can also have a Brand Warrior Mando alignment. You can have the Brand Warrior tactical alignment. You can have the Brand Warrior Boxsmith alignment, and that was like the main focus because after I deleted the original first Brand Hall and created the new one, the what was happening in the old server were these things called the guilds, where different brand
Right.
warriors, regardless of brand, would align themselves to a different guild and have a different leader and fight each other with the guilds.
Hmm.
But the guilds didn't end up going coming into fruition, and the alignments here on this server are only for like this server. They're not meant to be brought out to other parts of the like internet.
Yeah.
They're
It's
just like
just for
yeah, it's just
organizational purposes.
exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, hold up. How long have we been streaming? So it got
Yeah.
okay. So now let me just check. Discuss Discord. Discuss different crafters. But yeah, on that topic though, what about crafting? What about crafting? How did
Well,
you get into cardboard originally?
if you don't mind, I'd like to pause on that for a sec. And since we're still talking on the Discord, what kind? We were talking about projects, and like the past and the present and all that stuff. What about future stuff? Like, what do we got coming up?
Okay,
And as far as
so
brand
coming
war stuff and in the Discord.
so coming up in the Discord in particular, we've got a special event called Brandtober, which is going to start on October, and we're only going to announce it in the Discord server, and and here on YouTube and on other platforms a week before October so that people have the opportunity to prepare themselves. But basically,
Hmm.
it's going to be like Inktober, but designed around Brand Warriors. I put in a bunch of
Nice.
funny prompts in there, like for every day you do a prompt, or you can also mix and mash prompts together depending on what week you're on. You can participate in any way you really want, really, but
Yeah.
as long as it's not like AI or something, like
Right. Right.
as long as it's like you actually putting in the effort to be creative, and
That would be pretty sweet.
yeah, yeah, you get what I mean. But like the Brandtober will start October 1st and end October 31st. So you've got plenty of time to do the prompts. I I'm thinking next year we could do a themed Brandtober, like something like take a random thing that people like from the Brand Wars and make it the theme of this next Brandtober for next year. But
Hmm.
that's a question for future me.
Yeah.
Other
Well,
than yeah,
cross that bridge when we get there.
yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Absolutely, it's all water under the bridge.
Hmm.
Yeah, but other than that, we also have another project similar to Endgame coming out soon. Well, not coming out soon, but we're going to start working on it when we can.
Yeah.
We're not going to
The very
announce. Yeah,
bare bones right now.
yeah, it's at the absolute bare bones right now, but like we're not going to disclose anything here on this stream until it's time for that.
Yeah. Just all we can really say right now is it's another large collaboration, and there is a if you would like to help or join in, feel free to post in the Discord.
Or email us,
Yeah.
brandwarriorsocials@gmail.com. It's in the channel description. It's in the Discord in case you want. Speaking of which, we should also start taking more submissions for some. We should also start taking more submissions for more spotlights, like Brand Warrior spotlights. Like you remember the Brand
Hmm.
Warrior spotlight series we do on YouTube? We should
Hmm.
start taking
Yep.
more submissions for that. I might do one myself for the Pizzium armor.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we should do that. Then maybe since I guess I could talk about that now. But that just a random idea off the top of my head. You could move the spotlights instead of just doing the whole Brand Warrior. You could do like spotlights on Brand Warrior gear. You know, like weaponry, like for example, Coke Commando's minigun.
I feel like that would be a cool idea, but we already have kid of the month on this Discord server.
True, true. But that could be like a specific YouTube thing, just for so that way we could have more consistent posting.
Yeah, just for content. I noticed you slipped there.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's fine. This is a small, family-friendly Christian Minecraft server.
yeah. But
Yeah. But yeah, we've
yeah.
got. But one thing I should probably make a note about though, is the future collaboration. Once we announce it, every step of the way of it is going to be somewhat public. Like we're going to
Oh
share
yeah.
progress, and we're going to invite more people to join as we're doing it, that we have so that we simultaneously build up hype for future projects or for the actual project itself.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that because that's so crucial to what I have in mind. Like for
Okay.
yeah. Other than that, though, crafting.
Yeah, your question was what got me into crafting,
Well,
or
well, wait. I already asked that, but like what? Why not cardboard in particular? Like, why 3D printing over cardboard?
Um, let's see. Probably probably because of my original cosplay stuff. Back when I first started cosplaying, which was like 12 years ago, I originally used I started off, using like store bought cosplay, and the original store bought cosplay I got, was a piece of junk. Didn't really care for it, but I wore it and it fell apart pretty much.
Yeah.
And um, I was looking for alternative stuff, and 3D printers were beginning to come out around that time. But they're expensive. I always liked the way that the detail they could go into as far as like iconic props, because I was always into fantasy RPGs, and a lot of the players that I cosplayed were from like the Final Fantasy series, so like Orin or Cloud, um,
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. So they always had these really minute details like in their armor or their weapons. And so I was always looking for a material at the time to uh, emulate that. And I remember coming upon like cardboard tutorials for stuff, and they would provide a good base and some detail, but I ultimately ended up landing on foam and wood. And so I built a lot of my original like large scale, like the giant, hero swords out of wood where I'd carve and
Ooh,
so on.
that's pretty
And that was
cool.
where my original expertise went to. But I could never get like the super, I guess, super duper intricate fine details. And but I could do pretty good with foam and then the wood, and then of course the weight always sucked. But it worked out, to my preference, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Yeah,
But
cause
then as 3D printers became more apparent, and to kind of hone back in on your question, I like cardboard. I like using it. It's good and efficient, but I wanted that detail like I was doing back then, and so when it got to the point to where I could 3D print, I eventually got a 3D printer, started printing, and here we are. And then eventually wanted to move into making stuff for other people, and that's kind of where we're at now.
yeah, that's awesome. But like, one second, I forgot what I wanted to say. Um,
But
yeah.
before one more thought, I still do like cardboard though. Like I like, for example, with my current kit, Doctor Doom.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
noticed. I noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making the arms and the legs completely out of cardboard for him, because I feel, one, I don't want to make the complete costume out of 3D printed stuff for one. I kind of want to make it like old school, I guess, if that makes sense, just based on how I have the idea in mind for the character. But I don't know. It kind of just depends on the costume for me. So I don't know. It's kind of a personal preference. Some I'll use more cardboard on. Others I will go 3D printed. Like a big armor, I might go foam.
Yeah.
If it's small armor or here and there, or if like the character feels kind of ragtagish, like my Soda Knight guy, he feels ragtagish. So I kind of feel like leather. The cardboard kind of feels leatherish to me, so that's why bits and pieces of his are cardboard.
Yeah. That's awesome though. Like just mixing and mashing materials and then having a lot of them just to begin with.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well,
That, and
yeah.
one final thought to anyone listening, or to anyone who, yeah, Goodwill or any thrift shop. Thrift shops are your friend when
Absolutely.
building a costume. Like if you have a costume in mind, uh, go to a thrift shop, a yard sale, a flea market. Find some slightly used, like older clothes that you can mix match for the basis of your costume, or slightly sew together, dye, color, do whatever, and they are, perfect in the building instead of, ordering something like brand new.
Yeah. Yeah, thrift thrift stores are generally people's friends in this server, in this community, in this whole situation. Yeah, but like, uh, for me, cardboard is like my main thing, so like I can't really abandon it that much.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's like what I've been. It's like what I was known for. What got me to like 2-3 million views, and then like cardboard is like my main material. It's cheap, it's lightweight. Like even that, like my bulky armor, the white one, the PTM one,
Mhm. Yeah.
that armor would be unbearable out of foam or 3D prints. Like especially with the huge shoulder pads, the
Yeah.
large chest. That armor would be unbearable 3D printed because it's just
Oh yeah. 3D
it's
printed, most definitely.
yeah. But like out of cardboard, it's super lightweight.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've seen some foam ones that are similar to it and talked to them on it, and I'm trying to remember what they said. Because you run into like one Warhammer cosplayer, maybe per con, or maybe like a small group of them, because they're usually not in costume very long,
Yeah.
and but
Like
but the majority of them are either cardboard or foam, and the foam ones that they look great, but they do say that like it's harder to move, and the heat is what gets them the most because they'll say that cardboard breathes quite well. Meanwhile,
oh,
the foam it's light, it's light as well and durable, but it holds in a lot more heat.
I would argue that cardboard holds in even more heat if you don't make ventilation.
Yeah, this is coming from some fairly experienced ones, so I'll take their word for it as well.
Yeah, like uh like 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 if you don't like especially masks will
Oh
grow
yeah.
mold and give you an infection if you don't ventilate them well enough and if you don't disinfect them regularly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's just normal at that point. And then like most of my masks aren't even designed with a designated nose hole, so I feel bad for myself. Yeah. But hmm, like crafting. What else do you have in mind for crafting, Babsilorian?
Let's see. We've kind of discussed, our crafting preferences and what's got us into that. Well, in the Discord, you've gathered all different types of crafters, uh,
Mhm.
and then different crafters have found their way there, and we kind of have sections, for them to help each other out, give tips and tricks and stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
But I guess in upcoming episodes, we're going to discuss very specific topics or very specific sections of crafting. Like as
Yeah.
an example, we may have an episode concerning building cardboard helmets.
Yeah. Yeah, like each episode will go over different things that we do in the hobby space, like different like depending on, and there will also be different lengths depending on how big the subject is, depending
Hmm.
on how complicated or detailed the subject is. Like for example, we will have like an episode about helmets, an episode about prop guns. We will have an episode about body armor, an episode about, well, we can also have episodes that don't necessarily follow that, but in general, it
Right.
will the next few episodes will follow that formula.
Yeah. and then we'll bounce between different materials and also take requests. If there's certain things that the audience wants to see or hear about.
Yeah, and we will. In fact, on that note, I can always just host a poll on the Discord that lets people vote for which subject they want to see the most in the next episode.
And that would help us in getting time to prepare as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, and probably for the next episode, to build up some of the hype, we can set it as an event a week prior, and then a week or two prior, and then anyone who's interested in the event can like type it in and it can like type it in and just follow the
Yeah.
link because Discord has a pretty fancy new feature for events. We already have events for Kid of the Month, but we can set one up for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Pepsilorian, we've been going for 50 minutes. Do you want to make it a bit longer or
Yeah, we can go to about an hour. That way we get a good solid hour on. So we've discussed cardboard a good little bit.
What about foam? I'm particularly interested in foam right now because you bring it up and you say you have experience with it. So
Okay.
what can you tell me about foam?
All right. My earliest experience with it was building, like I said, the large swords. And so there's this type of flat foam you can get at most hardware stores. It's called insulation grade foam. It's not made out of insulation. It's just what they call it. And it kind of sounds like styrofoam when you when you rub up against it or whatever. It comes in like a big blue or orange sheet, and it's fairly cheap. Um, and it's very efficient for carving out large patterns.
Hmm.
And so a lot of cosplayers will get like, because you can get like a big 8x6 sheet of this, and what they use it for is they use it for putting up against like a wall, and then they'll put insulation up against it. It just provides extra heat. But what a lot of cosplayers will use it for is they'll get it and then they'll trace a pattern onto it like they would a piece of cardboard, and it's usually about 2 inches thick. So it's a very good base for, say, a large sword or a large weapon or even like a shield. And they'll trace a pattern on it, and then you can take like a blow dryer or a heat gun and slightly heat it up and then fold it. And then you can use the remaining pieces to cut out like small details
Yeah.
and glue on there. And then the thing though with foam is when you go to paint it, do not ever use spray paint on it unless you have put
Primer.
no, not even primer. You want to cover it first in like a layer of, what is that, Mod Podge or some type of sealant first, because if you use anything with acetone in it, it will pretty much melt the foam.
Oh. Oh no.
I made that I made that mistake myself. So um,
Yeah,
yeah, it,
like
it
this.
starts to bubble and it looks like it's melted. Although it will provide a very cool effect if you're trying to make like a lava looking weapon or something.
Yeah, like probably something from Devil May Cry,
Yeah,
Dante's giant claymore thing that turns into a pickaxe that looks alive.
yeah,
That thing.
yeah,
Whatever that thing was.
yeah,
I saw that thing in Jeb's Discord server and someone was trying to make it out of cardboard and I'm like, "Whoa. What even is
yeah,
that?"
yeah. Like, yeah, you do that for like a melted effect, but that's the main thing with for making like large weapons. Then for like armor and stuff, probably the most cost effective option I've seen is getting those. They're like I forget exactly what they're called, but they're like floor tiles. They look like puzzle pieces on the edges of them, but they use them
Oh
for
yeah,
like
that what was it called again? It wasn't PVC, it was EVA foam. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can also
yeah,
buy
but a lot.
like sorry, I have some knowledge right now.
Yeah.
You can also buy like different thicknesses of EVA foam
Hmm.
online, like one
Yeah.
centimeter, 2 centimeters, half a
Hmm.
centimeter, like like all that
Oh
different
yeah.
thickness for all those different details. I've seen the tutorials on YouTube, but like yeah,
Yep.
like EVA foam is the standard for crafting.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
That's the
the
standard.
it's like the like what you were describing earlier with the insulation foam is what like the budget crafting,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
EVA foam is
EVA
like
is the
yeah.
standard. And then even with EVA foam, there's a cheaper version of it that you can get like at the hardware store with like the insulation grade. Because they use EVA foam for mechanics,
Hmm.
and auto diesel, and even for uh, daycares. They make these little floor tiles that like they fit together in puzzle pieces, and you can get that sometimes cheaper than you can the large like rolls,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
like
it
for
works out
large
perfect for making like bracers or leg guards or pauldrons, single pieces and all of that.
yeah, you don't want to make something too big unless you want like the puzzle piece pattern in your prop.
Correct. Which you can fix that though, because that's where you don't want to use super glue, and then you don't want to use hot glue. I mean, you can, but you don't want to. You want to use contact cement for foam, that
Yeah.
because it creates a lasting, and it hides the edge very well.
Yeah, and then like for larger edges or mistakes, there's always this weird material called foam clay that I've seen
Hmm.
popping up around. I've seen it somewhere, but like I'm not super into foam. I've just seen what it looks like, and I can safely say it's not for me. But yeah, if I had
Yeah.
like I know there's something very similar to foam clay, but for cardboard. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like this revolutionary new plastic fiber material for all kinds of different cosplay means, but it's
Mm.
expensive. It is so
It's
expensive. Yeah.
it's kind of like Warbler.
Yeah, that's what it was called. Warbler.
Yeah, Warbler's it's been around for a minute, and it's gotten a little cheaper, but Warbler, it's still expensive either way you look at it compared to traditional crafting options. I mean, the props you can make with it are very beautiful, but good lord, it compared to buying like a roll of EVA foam or getting a bunch of cardboard, even buying cardboard, say from the store instead of getting it for free, the prices, good lord.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And then I think the last thing on foam that was important with it, which I mean we'll go into more detail on that, but just to refresh my memory on it was um dowel rods for support for like your bigger
Oh,
weapons and stuff.
yeah, I've been trying to buy dowel rods, and I tried buying dowel rods in the same place as filament, like on Amazon, and they said they couldn't process my payment and never gave me the money back and never gave me the product.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so I've just had this because I bought this printer from a I bought this used printer from a designer named Domochevsky. He was super kind. He sent me some of his stickers alongside the small printer. But
Hmm.
I haven't been able to actually print with it because I haven't had any filament. And even
Ah,
if I did have filament, it's a tiny printer. Like the bed is like 180 millimeters by 180 millimeters, with an option for a larger bed, but it is microscopic. It is something you would only really print a Nerf Shellington shells with.
gotcha. But hey, it's a good something to learn with.
Yeah, it's definitely something to learn with, but currently it's just sitting collecting dust that I should probably clean off. Yeah. So, Pepsilorian, what do you
Hmm.
think the next episode is going to be about?
I don't know. I guess that would depend on the poll, but judging from
Uh,
our community, it'll probably be. I would imagine it'd probably be something cardboard.
yeah. Well, not specifically cardboard, but like a specific topic like helmets or armor.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like probably
Hmm. We'll ask our
probably
community for that one. We'll ask our community for that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
I'm just thinking it's going to be like a cardboard armor piece in my head because I think what I remember most people posting about was like getting the curve right for certain pieces of armor.
Yeah, we could do a section about domes. We could do a section about domes.
Hmm.
Yeah, that would be awesome, and we could potentially bring in a guest if we had like we could bring in either cardboard armor smith or cardboard historian for domes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
So yeah, but that with that said, we're going to wrap up this last episode. Well, not this last episode. This current episode of Brent Wars the podcast. I hope everyone had a fun time listening, and I hope everyone has questions for the next time. So see ya
Um,
later.
all right, everyone, take it easy.
Bye bye.